Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. And in this tutorial, we will cover how to create a table in SQL Server in depth. So before starting the topic, I would like to inform you one thing that I will record the same video in 3 different languages and will store it in relevant playlists in my channel. So that is in English, Hindi and in ODIA, so that I will be easily reachable to many of you guys. So okay, let's begin guys. Okay, in the last session I have explained to you how to create a database, how to use a database and how to drop a database. What is a database? What is front end and back end? So today we will come to know how to create a table. Alright, before that I have already told you SQL is a language that has been used in all the relational database management systems. So what it does is, it basically used it is used to to store and manipulate and retrieve the data from a database or a table. Alright, it is again divided into this it has 5 sub languages in it. Again, DDL, DML, DQL, DCL and TCL. So data definition language, data manipulation language, data query retrieval language and data control language, transaction control language. We will definitely cover each and every sub languages in SQL, but for now let's start with DDL. So okay, DDL doesn't mean dil wale dulhaniya le jayenge. It means data definition language. So DDL commands are used to create and modify the databases objects like table, indexes and views. That means, so whenever you want to create a database object, for example, you will be learning so many objects in upcoming classes, that is indexes and views and tables. For now you know what is a table. So because in the last class I have covered what is a table. So so whenever you want to create a table or database, so that is a part of data definition language. So these are the commands which are part of DDL. So create, alter, drop, rename and truncate. So create means to create a new database or table. So to alter or modify the structure of the table. To delete the table or in data or database, that is drop. Rename means to rename a table. Truncate means to delete all the records from a table. Alright, so these are the DDL commands, but for now we will learn create. Okay, so you need to follow certain steps when you are going to create a table in SQL Server. So you have to specify the name of the table. Okay, you have to give a table name. Let's say you are maintaining a patient records in a hospital, so you have to specify the table name is patient details, and the column name is patient name, patient ID, patient address, patient other, patient room, patient tablets and medications and all that information that is for a patient. You have to you have to create a table and you have to maintain all the information about the patient. Then you have to specify the columns which I've already told you. So like patient name, patient ID, or student name, student ID, these are the columns. Okay, so specify the data type, because since we're going to store it in a table, so we should also specify the data, because what kind of data the column is going to store. So it is a numeric data, integer means numeric data, or it is a character data. Character means anything you write, suppose my name is Sudhir Kumar, so that is a character data. So we will call that as a string data. So when characters C, like I'll give an example. So let's say if C is a character, then this create is a string, because this is a collection of characters. Alright, so now this create table statement is used to create a table in SQL Server. So we'll move to the next slide. Alright, okay, we'll do a slideshow, it will look good. Alright, so these are the sub languages. So this is data definition language, under which we have 5 commands. Then we'll move to this slide to create table. So as I've told you, we have to specify the name of the table, specify the column, specify the data type and its length, create table statement. Alright, so okay, how can we create a table in SQL Server? So in the below line we can also create a table, and this first screenshot which I have given, we can also create a table. So create table, this is the student name, this is the column name, student role, student name, student class, student address. Then these are the data types. So student role is going to hold integer type of data, that is a numeric data. Name is, as usual, it is full name of a student. Then it comes to, the next is class, then address. Okay, so this is as you know, so this table starts like this: create table name, you have to start a bracket, then you have to specify the column name space, the data type, give a comma, then okay, then it goes like this. Then second column name, space the data type. So here we are specifying length because it's a character type of data, it's a string data. Whenever we are saying the name is Sudhir Kumar, so to Sudhir space Kumar, so this is a collection of characters, that means it's a string. So we have taken 30, then the class we have taken 13, again the address we have taken varchar of 15. Okay, so the reason we can create a table in both the ways, in the sorry, go back. So we can create the table in both the ways, but the first is more convenient, because so we are just breaking down this table creation syntax into multiple steps, so where it makes it easier to, in case if you have any issues, if there are some errors, it is easy to figure out in this first screenshot. In the second screenshot, of course, we can create the table, but then if in case there are some issues, it becomes very tedious for us to find out. Okay, so now I would always recommend you to create a table like this in the above screenshot. All right, so okay, this again I have created one more screenshot. This making table creation easier. See, so this is how you're going to create a table. This create table, this is table name, this is parenthesis is going to start bracket, and this is the column name, this is the data type, and this is the data type length. All right, so okay, so next is table and column naming conventions and rules. We will go back, we will try to cover each and every column naming conventions and rules. So but let's go back to the SQL server. We'll try to create the table. Okay, so as you have already seen yesterday, I mean in last class, how to create a database. So now we have our own database which is used here. Okay, I have told you how to use this database. Use school, just select and execute. Now it is going to use this school database. Now I'm going to create the table. Okay, so in the syntax, what create table student. All right, give st role, it's integer, then specify st name. Okay, st name, it is varchar of 30, then we have to specify st address. Don't worry about varchar integer, we have a separate data type session, so where we'll cover each and every data type, but for now you try to understand. Integer means it is going to hold numeric data. Varchar means it can hold any type of data, numeric, alphanumeric, and alphabet plus special character plus numeric, everything it is going to store. So name might have a space. Okay, name might have a hyphen. Okay, we're going to store everything. Varchar will store everything. Okay, so with only these three columns you're going to create a table. All right, just select it, click on execute. Now commands completed successfully. So how can you see whether your table is created or not? You can go to Object Explorer, just do a refresh, go to databases. We have created inside school database, then we have tables, then you can check. Okay, so we have student table over here. Okay, so now otherwise there is one more way. We can write select star from student. So select star from command is used. So this command is used to retrieve all the records from a table, all the records with all columns and with all rows. It is trying to retrieve. Retrieve means it is trying to fetch retrieve all the records from table. So now you understood how to create a table. You should write like this: create table name, then start bracket, here it is ending of bracket, then first column name and data type, then second column name and data type, third column name and data type. Then the last column you don't have to give comma. Okay, just first and second, last column you don't have to specify the comma because there is a closing of bracket. All right, now I'll tell you how to insert value inside a table. Okay, you can insert like this: insert into table name is student, right? Student values. So we have to provide the values in the same sequence, the sequence which we have maintained while creating a table. The same sequence we have to specify the values. Suppose 101 is the roll number, the name is Santosh, Santosh, the address is Mumbai. Okay, just select it and execute it. Again, same, you can select and execute. Now you have got the record is roll number Santosh Mumbai. This record has been inserted into the table. So don't worry about this. We'll explain. We have a separate session how can we insert the record into a table. So only remember one thing: if you have taken varchar as a data type for any of the columns, you have to make sure you are supplying the value. This is a string, so you have to supply the value within single quotes. You have to keep it, you have to enclose it in a single quote. That's what you have to remember. So let's go back to the slide and we will try to check what are the table and column naming conventions. What it is saying is these are certain rules you have to follow while creating a table. So names can only contain alphanumeric characters. So whenever your table name, you can have alphanumeric character. Student 9, let's say I'm mentioning student 9, it will also create the table. Okay, alright, alphanumeric. Name must begin with an alphabet or an underscore. Now name must begin with an alphabet. We have created this table and the name is starting from alphabet. Okay, so if we write a number, let's say I say one student, let's say I'm giving table name like this, one student, and try to execute. Incorrect syntax near 1. It will not allow me to create a table because you are starting with a number. It is saying either your table name should begin with an alphabet or an underscore. Table name, these rules are applicable to both column name and table naming rules. Alright, so it is like if you are specifying underscore, that's okay, it will create a table, don't worry about it. So now commands completed successfully. Okay, it has created a table. Right, then go to the next line, that is column name should not contain any spaces, dots and dashes. Okay, if you give a space here, it will not allow. Okay, suppose you are not giving a space here, but you are giving a space over here, still it will not allow. Okay, so alright, so next thing is don't give a space, don't give a dot, don't give dashes in between, don't give like this. Okay, so whenever you are creating a table, don't give table name like this or column name like this. Okay, this is wrong, you are not supposed to give like this, still it will throw you an error. Okay, so then comes the next one, that is do not use keywords and reserved words as column table names. So keywords and these, so basically what are keywords? Keywords are the reserved words. So now these are keywords for SQL Server. SQL Server has already reserved these keywords and it is using those keywords to perform various operations. Let's say create table is a keyword which is used to create a table. Integer is a keyword which is a data type. Varchar is a data type. Select star from is a keyword by using which you can retrieve the data from a table. Insert into is a keyword or a reserved word. Keyword means it's reserved word. SQL Server has reserved it for its own use. It is using for a different purpose. So you cannot give your table name as a keyword. I cannot give a table name like let's say values. This is wrong. I cannot give, see, I'll give everything correct. Okay, everything is fine, but when I'm trying to execute it, incorrect syntax near keyword values, I cannot give because this is being used by SQL Server for a different purpose. Okay, I cannot give select, create table select. This is also wrong because these are already reserved words in SQL. See, by using these words we are doing a task, we are performing a task, we are trying to retrieve the result or we are trying to insert the value. You cannot use these keywords in your create statement. So whenever you are creating a table, you cannot give this reserved keywords in while creating a table. It should not be your table name or it should not be your column name. Even if you are writing correct here, ST I'm writing ST11, this is a correct table name, it will allow me, but I cannot say values here. See, it is underlining, the error is already underlined. So if you just execute, it will show me this is the error, values, yahan pe hi error hai. You have got the error over here. Alright, So these are certain rules you have to follow. And the last, and maximum column length should not exceed 128 characters. So whenever you are specifying a column name, so now the size, what is the size? Address 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So the column length is now 10 characters. So it should not increase 120. It should not exceed more than 128. It should not exceed 128 characters. All right. So then, the last one, instead of spaces and underscore can be used. Let's say you want to give a space, because so whenever you are writing, okay, bank account number, it doesn't look good, right? Suppose there is a column you want to write bank account number, it doesn't look good. So what you can do is, instead of, you want to give a space in between. So since SQL server will not allow you to give a space, just give an underscore like this. All right. So now this is fine. So SQL server is going to accept this underscore. If you have an underscore in between a name, column name, or in between a table name, SQL server is going to accept. Okay guys, I think it was an in-depth session. If you still have some doubts, you can comment and ask your question. And yeah, that's it for today. So we have covered how to create a table with some certain rules, table naming convention, and column naming convention, and the entire syntax while creating the table. And select star, don't worry about these two commands, we will go in depth while I'll explain this select command and in this insert command. Hope you guys understood. If you don't, if I'm explaining a little faster, then you can decrease your speed while watching this video. Guys, if you genuinely like it, so please share, subscribe, and like, comment, do all this, because otherwise I won't come to know where I'm going wrong, where I'm going right, whether I'm teaching everything correct. Okay, so I need a feedback. Genuinely, I need a feedback from you guys. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Thanks again. We'll catch up in the next video guys.